Hello, it's Doug from Behind Closed Doors, and today I'm looking at another video by Kezia Noble, and this one's called How to Get a Younger Woman. Let's get into the video.
Hey guys, it's Noble, leading female dating and attraction expert for men. If you like younger women, then you're gonna love this. In this video, I'll be taking a look at the two main challenges that men face when dating a woman in her 20s. And I'll also be showing you how to effectively overcome those challenges.
Yeah, I prefer younger women. The last girl I dated was like 19. There are so many reasons as to why I prefer dating younger women. And it's not just the ones that you would think. And also what I found is when I've experimented on the dating apps, that younger women prefer me, or older women prefer me. I found that that girls below 25 are attracted to me, and girls above 45 are attracted to me. But girls between the ages of 25 and 45 aren't as attracted to me. So it's not just a case of whether you prefer younger girls or not, it's a case of whether they prefer you or not. Because women are the primary sexual selectors, and so your choices as a guy is secondary. Here's the issue that I have. I'm 38, so if I go out with another 38-year-old woman and she says that she has a daughter that's 18, I'm going to want to fuck the daughter, ain't I? It's like, so it's already fucked up the relationship.
Now, a lot of the students who come to us prefer to date women in their early to mid-20s, which is totally understandable. Women in their 20s have a more positive outlook on life. They're more fertile, they're usually in better shape, they have better bodies, they generally look better. Now,
There are exceptions to the rule, like Kate Beckinsale. When Kate Beckinsale was younger, a girl I was dating at the time was like, well, if you fancied a girl, who would it be? She'd go, I like Kate Beckinsale a little bit. And I thought, really? I didn't fancy her. She was in Underworld at the time. I called it Underwear. But now as Kate's gotten older, bless her, her skin's good, she's looking good, she's all right. Very few women look better as they get older. It's exceptionally rare that look better as they get older. That's just in looks. You have the odd girl like Jennifer Lopez who can look good at 20 and 40, but it's rare. And there's even rarer women that look better as they get older.
older women who are super hot and really look after themselves well, but on the whole, women do tend to look better in their 20s. Younger women are also less jaded. They are far more easily impressed and carry less emotional baggage. Plus, there's potentially a future.
Chris Rock spoke about this in his latest Netflix special. I'll put a picture here because I forget the name of the title of it. And he does a whole segment on this. He usually talks about relationships a lot anyway, and he's got a lot of good stand-up material on men and women and relationships and stuff like that. And a point that he mentions, being a millionaire, is they're cheaper. Like, a girl in her early 20s wants a pair of shoes. A girl in her 40s is going to want a roof on a house. So that it's the same with children. It's sort of like when children are babies, they want a bit of ice cream. As they get to like 16 years old, they want a fucking car. So they just get more expensive the more older they get. And you could say, well, if a woman's got her own career and her own money and she's strong, single and independent and all that horse shit, well, women still date across and up social dominance hierarchies. So if a girl's richer, she wants a richer guy. So she doesn't lose that. It's like tall women. They still want a tall guy. So if a woman's 6'2", she's going to want a guy that's taller than 6'2". She's not going to want to date a guy that's 5'6". And that's one of the sad things about like being a woman, is that the taller you are, the richer you are, the more successful you are, the less likely you are to be attracted to somebody that is below you.
Younger women are also less jaded. They are far more easily impressed and carry less emotional baggage. Plus, there's potentially a future with them, which doesn't need to be so immediate. Unlike a lot of women in their 30s.
Another thing as well is, just as we're coming up with the reasons why it's better to date younger women, is that they haven't had as many experiences. So you're so far ahead when you're dating a younger girl because she doesn't know as much about the world as what you do. She hasn't experienced as much as what you have. She's not as educated. She gets to discover things with you. Think of it this way. You take someone on a new experience, someone that you love and care for, and they enjoy it because it's the first time they've experienced something like this. And so you get to vicariously see it again through their eyes and get to appreciate them enjoying it. So you get to experience things afresh, like when you have children. Like kids go around and they're like, oh wow, there's this, there's that, and you get to rediscover everything with kids, because they're just so, everything is new to them, and there's a beauty in that. There's an appreciation in that. There's a gratitude in that, and gratitude is like happiness. So you get to be grateful for things that you wouldn't ordinarily be grateful for. And it's a beautiful experience. And if somebody's choosing you, especially if they're like a virgin or something like that, where like you're their first experience with going on holiday or going to a nightclub or, you know, having sex or whatever it is, it's more precious to you because you're their introduction to that. You're their partner for that. And it's much more of an honor and a pleasure that somebody chose you to be there first. And it doesn't have to just be with sex. And that is really beautiful. Whereas what are you going to do for a 40-year-old girl, especially if she's been young, hot and good looking, and she's traveled the world and she's been to here, there, done everything, snorted everything. Like, what are you going to do for her that's so much better than what she's ever experienced? Because there's probably some other guy that's done it better than you at some point anyway. So what do you get to experience with her fresh?
Unlike a lot of women in their 30s who are looking to settle down and have kids as soon as possible.
Another thing that's interesting about this is me and Kezia have completely different perspectives on this. Like, Kezia's channel is mostly about coaching guys on what women want and how to give it to them. Whereas I'm like, don't give a fuck about what women want. I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I'm like, don't worry about what they're thinking about. Don't worry about what they care about or whatever. Just forget them. Like, work on yourself. Like, the best relationship that you're ever going to have is the one that you have with yourself. And what you should be focusing on is honesty, trust and respect. And if you focus on yourself and become the best version of yourself, you're naturally going to attract a better quality relationship into your life. Kezia's stance is, you know, here's a game technique that you can use. Whereas I'm more kind of like, the only winning move is not to play the game. So we have completely different perspectives on the dating relationships kind of advice thingamajiggy. So there's probably a few bits that we disagree with, but where we cross over, well, that's great, isn't it? Because I'm agreeing with a lot of what she says, and it's from a completely different perspective. I'm thinking about what's best for you, not what's best for the girl. She's saying this is probably what's best for the girl. That's what a lot of her videos are centered around. You know, here's a way to look at her so it makes her pussy tingle, or 3 ways you know that a girl likes you, or, you know, blink like this and she'll come in 6 seconds or something like that. I'm making all this shit up, but you know what I mean. It's that kind of a video. It's more kind of like, you know, one thing that you can do to make her attracted to your eyes or something like that, you know. They're the kind of videos that she does, whereas that's not me at all. So if we're agreeing on something here, then it's probably right, because it's you got two ends of the spectrum coming into something that probably works.
Before we dive in, let me just make one thing clear. My intention in this video is not to run down older women like myself. I've done a lot of other videos for men who
Kezia is not an older woman, is she?
prefer older women, and in those other videos I have gone through the many appealing attributes that older women possess. So although dating a younger woman is a better option for most men, there are 2 important factors that men need to be aware of. A woman in her 20s, particularly in her early 20s, is far more influenced by the people around her. Many younger women can have very close relationships with their mothers. They tend to also have a close circle of friends who they really trust and they really listen to, and whose opinion...
This is why it's better to get a girl without loads of friends. Women are going to be indoctrinated by something, whether it's feminism or their friends or family or their boyfriend or so. Like, they're usually highly agreeable, and they're going to adopt a lot of their social structures, belief systems. So you really need a girl that is able to think for herself and to be able to intelligently decipher between her opinion and other people's, because they're very collective mind orientated. They're very liberal. They're not very independent and conservative minded.
Can have very close relationships with their mothers. They tend to also have a close circle of friends who they really trust and they really listen to, and whose opinion really matters to them. And they also usually have male friends that they also trust and take advice from too. And of course, younger women are much
Male friends. It kind of makes me feel sick at this point hearing that term. Male friends. Is he really your friend? Really? Does he really care about you? Fuck's sake.
inclined to be swayed by cultural influences and cultural trends. So when you date a woman in her 20s, you're also dating all these other people around her, all these other voices, all these opinions, all these influences. And
Yeah, you see, younger girls are more open to try new experiences. And the trouble is, that's a great thing. Because, you know, you're an experience that they're trying. But the trouble is, they're also open to trying all sorts of new experiences. Whereas older women, with the same, it's not just women, it's men as well. They tend to be more set in their ways. They know who they are a bit better. Like, they're more savvy. They know what they like and what they don't like. And they're very stubborn in their ways. And they're harshly judgmental. So they're either young and still trying things out, or they're old, unattractive, but know who they are.
the second challenge, younger women have more options than older women. And because of this, you'll have more competition. And as a direct consequence from that, she's likely to be a lot more fickle. So let's take the first challenge. How to counteract all those voices, opinions, judgments, and influences around her. Don't ever make the mistake of directly attacking those people who are influencing her by saying things like her mum is too interfering, or that her friends are a bad influence, or that she shouldn't listen to them. Men often make this mistake. Now, unless she's fallen in love with you, then she'll become very defensive and she will take their side. And even if you...
Yeah, and the other thing is I'm quite a accepting person, and I'm very agreeable. Now, some people may not believe that, but it's true. Like, I think everyone kind of has a point. Even if I don't agree with it, they have a point. I don't exclude people. I don't isolate people. I don't like to say that people are wrong. It's more kind of like, I acknowledge it, I just don't agree with it, and it's not to my taste. Like, I don't like Branston pickle, but I'm not denying anyone else Branston pickle. I just don't want it in my fucking sandwich. For me, I don't want to convince the girl of anything. I want her to discover for herself why she shouldn't be doing something, based on her own feelings and based on her own way of thinking and viewing things. I want women to be as mature as possible. So I don't want to influence her. I will literally play devil's advocate all the fucking time. I will sit down and tell a young girl why she shouldn't be dating me. Now, in a girl's head, she might be thinking why she doesn't want to date me. Her family and friends might be, or work colleagues may be saying why she shouldn't be dating me. I will even tell her why she shouldn't be dating me. And they may not be the same reasons. They may be completely different reasons. But I want her to decide for herself. You have to kind of like push people away, and if they come back, then they're choosing to come back. But you can't force people to do something that they don't want to do, or block out other influences. I want the girl to have as many influences as possible and decide to choose me above all that shit. I'm not in competition with her friends and family and work colleagues and the other guys that are trying to fuck her. She's either with me and she's loyal, or she's not. That's it. I'm not in competition with anyone else.
Directly attacking those people who are influencing her by saying things like her mum is too interfering, or that her friends are a bad influence, or that she shouldn't listen to them. Men often make this mistake. Now, unless she's fallen in love with you, then she'll become very defensive and she will take their side. And even if you manage to convince her, she'll most likely tell her mother or best friends what you've said about them. And as a
Yeah, that happens as well. And this is why I say you shouldn't care, because your identity shouldn't be defined by other people's opinions of you. You have to create your own story and your own narrative. It doesn't matter what they think or what they say, because they don't know you. I've dated girls for fucking years and they still don't even know me. They've got no fucking idea who I am, because they never see me. They only ever see their story of me. They only see their feelings of me. It's all through their own filtration system. They never really get to know me. Dating a girl is one of the most impersonal things you can do as a guy, because it has nothing to do with you. When they're in love with you and they want to fuck you, you can't do anything wrong. And when they're not in love with you and they don't want to fuck you, you never did anything right in the first place and you're an evil person and you should be in the ground. They go from loving you to hating you. So, and you may be the same person all the way throughout. It's just they have a different perception of reality. And it's influenced, like Kezia is saying, with all the social influences there are. And this is why I say you shouldn't worry about what they're thinking about. Because what they're usually thinking about is a load of bullshit.
More evidence to convince her that you're over-controlling or problems, mischief-making, whatever it is, and that she should get rid of you.
Yeah, so there's no reason to ever argue with a girl. So if a girl starts arguing with you for reasons that she didn't argue with you about yesterday, then somebody's probably gotten into her head and dirtied the waters in her mind. And to me, I think that's terrible. I really do believe in the individual. I believe in empowering people, giving people all the options and all the choices and letting them decide the best one. I don't believe in telling people what to do. I don't even really believe in giving advice. I'll give advice, but I don't believe in it. I really believe in helping people discover for themselves what the best route is for themselves, because only they know themselves better than anybody else. And if they don't know themselves, then that's something for them to discover. It's a personal journey. And I genuinely want what's best for the girl. I could talk about this for hours. There's so much in this.
Instead of attacking these influences on her, do the opposite and validate them. Tell her that she seems like she's got a really good, caring unit of friends around her, that she has a good family, how lucky she is to have a mother that cares about her son.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I do it is that, I've got a daughter. I'm a great guy, and I do have a daughter. And if my daughter was dating a guy like me, I'd be very happy about it, because I'm a great guy. So that's my own internal test that I do. I have a sister, and if my sister was dating a guy like me, I'd be very happy about it. So when I think of my daughter and my sister and people that are close to me, I think if they had a guy like me in their lives, would that be a benefit? And the answer is yes, because I'm happy, I like me, I know me, and I know me better than anyone, and I have to fucking live with me. Because if somebody's pissing you off, you can go away from them. But if you're pissing yourself off, you can't get out your own fucking head. So you have to cultivate, this is another reason why you have to cultivate a great relationship with yourself and not base your self-worth and your self-identity on what other people's fleeting feelings are about you. So I know, like, and trust myself. So if the girl doesn't know, like, and trust me, then she can go, can't she? And if she does know, like, and trust me, she can stay with me. But again, they don't do it based on knowing, liking, and trusting. It's not a business networking meeting. It's fancying you. So it's completely emotional.
So rather than saying you shouldn't let your family and friends control you, tell her that you admire the fact that she doesn't let them control her. So you see, the first strategy that most men use is...
Kezia's right, but it's very difficult to do that when you're being personally attacked. And let's take the parents, for example, because I've seen this so many times. Let's say you're going out with a girl and the parents don't like you. A big shock there, because no one's ever going to be good enough for their daughter, whatever.
And she has a good family. How lucky she is that cares about her so much. This will cover your tracks for later. But at the same time,
it depends how rude and nasty the family or the work colleagues or the other guys that are trying to fuck them are being to her. You know, it depends, doesn't it, on context. If you first start going out with a girl and for the first couple of months the parents aren't too keen on you and all the family or her work colleagues or whatever, they're like, oh, you know, you deserve better, you shouldn't be with him and all that kind of stuff. Because they always tell the girl this. This is the thing I don't like, is that they always lie to the girl to try and get her to do what they want. It doesn't make sense to me. You can understand that people are a bit hesitant in the beginning, but then after so many months or a couple of years and they're still saying that you're a piece of shit, it gets to the point where it's just bullying. Especially if it's not true the other way and the guy's friends and family and all that are happy to invite the girl into the family or whatever it is. I've never got on well with any girl's parents. Look, here's the thing. If I get on well with the girl's parents, the girl won't fancy me. If the girl fancies me, the parents can't fucking stand me. That's always been the case. It kind of skips a generation.
reinforce what you like best. The fact that she's so independent-minded. So rather than saying you shouldn't let your family and friends control you, tell her that you admire the fact that she doesn't let them control her. So you see, the first strategy that most men use is attack and control. whilst the second strategy plays into her ego, which you'll discover works a lot better. Go one step further and compare her favourably to other women, and tell her that unlike other women her age, it's clear she's smart and can think for herself. Not only will she really warm...
Well, of course she's smart and she can think for herself, or she wouldn't be dating me in the first fucking place. You see, I can't just date a bimbo. I can't date someone that just goes along with the crowd, like, and just has a load of female friends around her. I've got very particular women that I'm attracted to. They have to be independent-minded, else they can't date me. Like, listen to the shit that I'm coming out with. Do I sound like a normal fucking guy? Like, most girls will go on a fucking dating app and go, I'm after a serious relationship, but he shouldn't take himself seriously. They just talk so much dog shit. I just want a guy that makes me laugh. I just want a guy that makes me happy. They're just like a walking cliche. Most women are fucking just a carbon copy of the last girl. So in order for me to find somebody attractive, of course they're going to be independent-minded. That's why I'm fucking them in the first place. That's why I'm rewarding them with dick, because of their independent-mindedness.
The idea that you see her as a strong-minded thinker, but think about it, no woman wants to feel that she's too weak-willed to stop others controlling her. If you communicate that you see her as a strong, independent, smart woman who's wiser than her years, who can think for herself...
And the proof of that is that she's with me.
She'll want to prove that you're right, made a mistake, and she'll want to prove it to herself too. So if the people around her do start meddling unproductively, she'll automatically remember what you've been reinforcing and will be far likely to...
But you see, Kezia is right, and I agree with her. This is where it gets interesting. But the way that she's putting it across is it's kind of a mind game. Even though she's right. Whereas I don't need to think about what she's thinking about. I'm not thinking about how it's coming across from her perspective. I'm just saying what I think and feel. I'm being honest. So if I'm being honest and I have good intentions and I want what's best for her, then I'm naturally going to say and think this stuff. But if I'm trying to get what I want and now I have to watch a video in order to understand what she's thinking about, in order to be able to say and do the things that she's going to want, in order so that I get to keep her, to me that's manipulative. Why don't I just be honest in the first place? Because all this is why I'm agreeing with her. But it's intuitive. But if this isn't coming intuitively to a man, then he doesn't deserve this information. Because he's just going to be manipulative. And that's a very effeminate thing to do. It's not a masculine thing to do.
Right, and you haven't made a mistake, and she'll want to prove it to herself too. So if the people around her do start meddling unproductively, she'll automatically remember what you've been reinforcing and will be far likely to stand up to them by her own volition. And it's very likely that she'll tell them how highly you speak of them. When they hear those complimentary and flattering opinions you hold of them, it will disarm them and they'll be far more likely to back off. Never underestimate the power.
No, that's not true. I'm a fucking charming arsehole when I want to be, and it still doesn't work. Like, I was an entertainer for a living. I'm a fucking magician. Like, I know how to work a crowd. I know how to interpersonally interact with people. But if somebody decides that they don't like you, they just don't like you. It doesn't matter how good your social skills are. With the mothers and the daughters, it might even be through jealousy. Like, look at all the Disney films. Look at Cinderella. Look at fucking Tangled. Look at all of them. Look at Ursula, the Little Mermaid. All these feminist older women bitches are jealous of the young girls. It's very rare that an older woman advocates for a guy to be dating a younger woman. That's why I like Kezia, because she's giving young girls a shout out, even though most women would be catty competition.
The opinions you hold of them, it will disarm them and they'll be far more likely to back off. Never underestimate the power of flattery, praise and adulation. Now, because you'd already anticipated that this was going to happen, you covered your tracks. Remember, game is all strategy. And because you anticipated what they were going to do, you covered your...
Again, this is where I don't agree with strategy and covering the tracks and game. This is where, again, Kezia has a completely different perspective. It's not wrong, it's just a different way of doing it. She has a different perspective, a different take on this as to what I do. Whereas I'm like, if you're just a great guy and you're just honest, all that stuff should dissipate anyway.
Beforehand. Unlike most guys who will just verbally their friends and family. Now the second challenge, the way to counteract.
Right, the reason why they'd attack their friends and family is because they're becoming emotional and defensive. And the best way to interact with a female is not to get emotional and vulnerable.
Now the second challenge, to counteract the problem of her being fickle and decreasing the threat of the other men who are orbiting her, is to convince that you're not a sure bet. That you too, just like her, have other options. Now this sounds counterproductive. Logically, it makes sense that if she feels you're not such a sure thing, she'll move to another man who is a safer option. But as I've said many times before, attraction is rarely logical. Attraction for women is more about feelings. If she senses that you have no other option...
And I'd say it's not so much attraction, it's more desire. We go after things that we desire. And one of the reasons why I say that men should keep their freedom when they get into relationships, so the woman should be monogamous and the guy shouldn't, is for this reason. The more a man is sexually exclusive to a woman, the more the woman is going to take advantage of it. It's a more healthy relationship when the woman wants to be sexually exclusive to a man, monogamous, and the man doesn't want to be sexually exclusive. That's a healthier balance. It doesn't sound equal. That's because it's not equal, because there's an asymmetry in sex in every single fucking area. And so as a guy, you should be able to go and fuck other girls when you're in a relationship with a girl for this reason alone, so that she maintains attraction for you over a period of time. Whether you fuck anyone else or not is irrelevant. The more you like a girl, the more she's going to fuck off. So you have to be in a position where you keep your options open so that it can maintain her desire for you. So again, I do agree with this, but it's not so much from a gamey perspective, and what she's thinking about. It's more a case of coming back to, again, your own sense of self-worth and respect. I don't play that game of, oh, look, all these other girls fancy me. I don't play that game. Because if she fancies you, then she knows that.
And that you're totally her and a future with her without any outside threat actually make a younger woman feel overwhelmed, or dare I say it, less interested. Now, I am not in any way advising you to go and cheat on her. This is something I have never and...
Yeah, I don't think you should cheat either. I think you should let them know up front. Say, look, I'm going to be with you and I love you completely, but if I want to, I'm going to go and see other girls, because you loving me shouldn't restrict my freedom. You shouldn't be in the position to tell me what to do and then pretend like I'm in fucking control. Because that's what women do. They like to go, I want a man to be a man and take the lead and take control and all this shit. Okay, cool. I want to go and fuck the business. Oh no, you can't do that. Like, they want you to be pussy whipped while still thinking that you're not pussy whipped. If you're a genuine guy, sex doesn't mean anything. It's no different to chatting with another girl. It means nothing. There's no emotions whatsoever. If you put a load of fucking women in a room, an average guy could go in there and just fuck them all and not care about any of them. For guys, sex isn't associated with love and feelings and all that kind of stuff. So cheating is lying. So if you're in a relationship with a girl and you're saying, look, I'm seeing you, but I'm also seeing other girls, that's up to her then what she decides to do. If you're a man and you're with a girl and you're saying, I'm monogamous to you, I don't have sex with anyone else, I don't look at anyone else, I don't go on YouPorn when you're not in the house, I don't think about any other girl ever, I'm completely besotted by you completely, and you're my everything. Now, if that guy is caught wanking on the computer or hooking up with some bitch from fucking work or whatever, now that guy is a cheater because he lied. Lying is cheating. If you say what you're doing, then you're not cheating, are you? I love you completely, but I'm still going to go fuck somebody else if I want to. In the same way that I'm still going to go and talk to somebody else if I want to, or hang out with somebody else if I want to, because you don't control me with your pussy. I'm better than your twat. Now, you can be loyal to me and monogamous and that's why you want that so badly. So you do that. Be the change you want to see, but don't tell me what to fucking do. I can't stand all that controlling shit. So again, I agree with Kezia. I don't advocate cheating. I think you should be honest about everything that you're doing, because lying is cheating. And so long as you're honest, as part of the honesty, trust and respect, then you're okay. Because a girl will happily date a guy that she knows is fucking a load of other girls, but she won't like it if she's doing it with a guy that is supposed to be worshipping her pussy and monogamous only to her. She doesn't like that because she's got a lover and provider mentality. She has different rules for different guys. You're a beta male and you're going to do as you're fucking told and you're going to obey my pussy, and that's because I love you. And this other guy, I can fuck him as much as I like, and he can go fuck other girls as much as he like, and we can be in an orgy, and it doesn't fucking matter. She has different rules for different guys. So be that guy. If she's trying to put you into the beta male category and then pretend like you're still the fucking man, if she's trying to play that deception on you by, because all they have is guilt. Oh, you lied about this, you cheated, you did that, blah, 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 blah. All they have is guilt to use on you as a tool. They've got nothing else. All they can do is they can lie, cheat and deceive you and manipulate you and destroy your reputation. That's all they can do externally. And then internally, all they can do is make you feel guilty. So if you're with a girl and you're honest with her and you respect her and she respects you, she can't make you feel guilty about anything. Now that's a beautiful relationship. But the moment girls tend to get into a relationship, they want to get guilt as quickly as possible so they can leverage it against the guy, so they can feel in control. What it seems like girls are doing is they're like getting a guy's like horse riding. They get a horse, they tame it, and they're riding it around so that they can use it for what they want. But the moment that the horse starts acting how it wants to act, then they can't stay on the fucking thing. It's like a rodeo. Like, so women want to be able to control men, and the way that they control men by whipping the reins and shit on the horse is through guilt. If they can't make you feel guilty about anything, then they can't emotionally manipulate and control you. Then they don't feel in control. Then they're not happy in the relationship because they don't know how to manipulate the alpha male. So that's why it doesn't usually last.
I asked on Facebook this morning, what videos would people like to see? And someone said, well, I want to see a video what to do when a horse gets out of control. If a horse is out of control, he's lost control of himself. You know what I mean? You don't have to have him under control all the time. So can I do this? If your horse gets out of control when you do this, you probably shouldn't be getting on. If your horse gets out of control when you do this, you probably shouldn't be getting on. If your horse gets out of control when you do this, you probably shouldn't be getting on. If your horse gets out of control when you get here, you need to stay at this spot until he's under control. And so far he's under control. How do I know he's under control? Because he hasn't walked off. Don't wait till they're out of control at the gallop and it turns into a buck before you go, oh, I need to get my horse under control.
So I don't agree with cheating. What I say is, you be completely honest, and if you're seeing other girls, tell her, and she can decide for herself. Here's the thing. Sex is attention. When you're fucking somebody, you're giving them your physical full attention. So them wanting you to be monogamous is trying to control your attention. Oh, you can't go and fuck that other girl. Then it becomes you can't go and talk to that other girl. It's anything, like you have a finite amount of attention, and it's anything that takes attention away from her. And if she's infatuated with you, which I believe most girls are, I don't actually believe that women love men. If she's sexually infatuated with you, like she's in love with you, that's as close as I think they get. She doesn't want something else taking attention away from her. So she doesn't want another girl fucking you. This is the guilt thing that women do. You can't have sex with anyone else because I love you, and because I love you, you can't be happy with anyone else. So, but basically, it's just anything that takes attention away from her. So if you agree to that, the next thing becomes, oh, well, you're talking to that girl. Well, you never talk to me in that way. You never talk to me as much. Oh, you're talking to this bitch more than you're talking to me. Because it's not about sex, the cheating for women. It's about somebody else is taking your attention away. Then it becomes, oh, you can't have female friends. Then it becomes you can't have friends in general because I get jealous when you go and spend time with your friends. Like, even if you're just playing on the fucking computer, if you're on the fucking, I'm not a gamer or anything, but like, some guys are, they're fucking on their PlayStation or whatever. Well, the PlayStation, now they hate your PlayStation because it's taking attention away from them. Even if you went to work all day to get money, to build a life, to give to her, oh, you're at work all the time. Like, why are you at work all the time? Like, they just get angry and upset and pissed off, and they feel cheated out of the fact that something else is taking attention away from them. That's what it is. It's not about sex. It's about investment. And if you give them an inch, they'll take a fucking mile. So the reason why I don't believe that men should be committing to monogamous relationships is because evil starts with 10%, and women will be evil if you give them the rope to do it. And you've got to say no from the beginning. You've got to teach them your standards, that because you love me and you're infatuated with me and you want my full attention at all times, it doesn't mean to say I'm not allowed to have a life outside of this relationship. I can talk to whoever I want, I can fuck whatever I want, I can eat whatever I want, I can be who I am. And if you love me, then you'll love me, won't you, for who I am? You won't try and change me. In the same way you don't want me to try and change you. You don't want me to be coercively controlling of you, so I expect the same back. But again, you can't, but this is where honesty, with the honesty, trust and respect, really cuts women. Because, and I heard this in a podcast thing, women, and I think it was from Auntie, women say they want honesty, but they really don't want honesty.
In any way advising you to go and cheat on her. This is something I have never and will never advise anyone to do. It's totally unethical and it can potentially cause the other person long-term emotional damage. So
yeah, but women break up with guys like 90% of the time. They're leaving marriages all the time. They're the ones that aren't happy and go off and get new dick. And that's cheating. Because once you're with somebody, because monogamy used to mean one person for life. Now it means one person at a time. So let's say if you're a monogamous guy and you're faithful and all that kind of stuff, she's going to fuck off anyway. She's going to go get a new dick anyway. Because she's bored. Because she wants fun. Like, she'll do it for the most superfluous reasons. Over a long enough time frame, they will cheat. Because they'll say, I don't want to fuck you anymore, I'm going off and sucking this new dick. So they're not monogamous because they're not having one guy for life, they're having one guy at a time. So why are they asking for loyalty when they can't be loyal to one dick?
that is definitely not what I'm suggesting you should do. What I'm saying is that she needs to feel that she has to work to keep your interest and should not be able to take you for granted. She needs to be invested.
But she will, no matter how great you are. That's why most marriages and why most relationships don't work. Female sexual selection, which is primary, is very mysterious and it fluctuates and it's not trustworthy. And that's what women base their feelings on. And that's why I'm saying as a man, you need a greater ethic than her superfluous pussy feelings. You need to be able to have something that is much more grounded in reality, something that is better than sex. Women will happily lie, cheat and deceive you. They'll say that they'll stay with you for better or worse for the rest of your life when they marry you, and then they'll fucking divorce you a year later. They don't give a fuck. Even if you didn't cheat, even if you did everything right. Reality, this is a common thing that I say on this channel. Reality doesn't matter to a woman. Reality doesn't matter. All that matters is how she feels. And that's how the whole legal structure and the law is set up for women and girls and females. It doesn't care about children and it doesn't care about men. It only cares about pleasing females. And this misandrous view of humanity is disgusting. I don't believe in women's rights. I believe in human rights. And human rights are everyone's rights because we're all human. That's true equality. Feminism is not equality. It's inequality. It's disproportionately saying we need more rights because we've been oppressed. We deserve more than what human rights have. And I don't believe so. I believe we're all human and that love is all the same. If you love somebody, you demonstrate the qualities of honesty, trust and respect. But the moment that women see you, everything about them is a lie. They've got makeup on, the face doesn't look like that. They've got high heels on. They're not really that tall. They've got a Wonder bra on, the titties ain't that big. And that's just a couple of things off the top of my head. She'll say she's 28 when she's 32. She'll lie, cheat and deceive you the moment she even sees you. And yet you've got to be honest and not cheat. It's double standards. And so what I'm saying is, pick the girls that are more honest and be honest with them. And that's the best chance that you have of a relationship. A long-term relationship. You have to be honest.
It's totally unethical and it can potentially cause the other person long-term emotional damage.
Family court causes long-term emotional damage. I've been in family court 15 times. I've not seen my children in years. That causes long-term emotional damage to everyone in the family. The fact that some other bitch sucks your dick for a couple of seconds means nothing.
What I'm saying is that to feel that she has to work to keep your interest and should not be able to take you for granted. She needs to be investing in you, the relationship, and improving.
Yeah, but you're not in control of that. She's in control of that. She's creating her reality through her perceptions, and it's not your business to try and manipulate her to craft a reality that would make her want you more than she does.
Self, because once she doesn't need to do that and that you'll stick around no matter what, that you're a sure bet that she can second guess, that's the moment when she'll become complacent.
Well, women are saying that they want security. So when you give them security, what you're saying then is that they don't want that and they're going to flee. So what do? This is what I'm saying. This is why you can't listen to what women say. Because they'll tell you all the time they want security, they want this, they want that. And then they go and do the exact opposite because it dries up the pussy. So, and they're basing all their feelings and life choices on how wet their pussy is. So, what are you going to do? The thing to do is to be honest, trustworthy and respectful.
Because unlike an older woman, A, she's still in the pleasure-seeking era of her life, and B, has the luxury of time, so doesn't feel the...
I think that as women get older, they go through a sexual peak around their mid to late 30s, and I think that's why that accounts for a lot of divorces, because women tend to fuck off because it's like nature's lost surge of hormones before they're unable to have children again.
Immediate need to settle down, serious relationship, or start a family. Now, I know that older women can be pleasure hunters, they're also looking for fun, especially escapism. But remember, they don't have the energy that a younger woman. One can party until 5 a.m. while the
I love Kezia, she's brilliant.
fantasizing about sleep. Like older.
Yeah, I have to be asleep by 12. I'm just like, just make sure they're properly fucked before 12. I'm like Cinderella. I'm just, as soon as the clock hits 12, my fucking eyes are gone. I just need my sleep. Like, when I was younger, I think that's a youth thing, because the same is true with men. When I was younger, I could be up all night and still go to work the next day and drink and whatever. Whereas now, I'm just like, fuck this shit. I want to be asleep by 12 o'clock. I want to be in bed by 11:30 and be asleep by 12 o'clock. See, if me and Kezia were dating, we get a nice hot chocolate and go to bed.
Don't have the energy that a younger woman has. One can party until 5 a.m. while the other one is fantasizing about sleep by 1 a.m. Like older men, they've got into habits, daily routines, even routines that, although are comforting, they do restrict how much fun they can actually have, which generates less option.
And the other thing as well, it's not fun that you want, it's durable fulfillment. It's fulfillment over a long period of time. It's peace. I want peace. I don't want the drama and the fucking games.
And also, you must remember that most older women have fun stuff at some point. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. A woman in her 20s is still experimenting. The world is her playground. Things are still shiny and new. Women in their 20s tend to be far more positive and not so risk averse. All of these factors mean she'll be generating a high amount of opportunities to meet men. And these days, thanks to
Hashtag Kezia, I agree.
dating apps and Instagram, it's even worse. And so if you want to date younger women, you need to keep this in mind and understand that the way to eliminate the competition is to make sure that she doesn't take you for granted. Don't be that safe.
I don't want to eliminate the competition. I don't compete with anybody. I'm the fucking man. And if the girl wants the fucking man, she can be with me. And if she thinks she can get a better dick elsewhere, she can go fucking get a better dick elsewhere. I don't give a fuck. I'm not in competition with another man. Why would I be in competition with somebody that is less than me?
All of these factors mean she'll be generating a high amount of opportunity.
She might end up with a better opportunity. I can't have kids anymore. I've had the snip. So if any girl's with me and she wants to have children, I'm not a good choice for her. There's that as well. Babies is a huge thing. I mean, that's why you're having sex in the first place, isn't it? To have sex, to reproduce, because we're here for survival and reproduction as part of the species. That's what it's all about. Eating and fucking. Survival and reproduction. You eat to survive, you fuck to reproduce. It's as simple as that. That's what we're here for. And I think that when women hit the age of around 25, which is when their brain stops developing, by the way, I think that's about the age that they think about settling down and having babies. Or at least they entertain the idea if they haven't done so already, because they realise that they've only got so much time. And so they start looking more for a guy that they can tame and settle down, and who won't fuck around and won't cheat and do all the other stuff that they don't want to have, and they want to be able to constrain a guy. So they marry him. And then they're not happy with him by the time they get to 35, and they want to fuck off again with another alpha male. And then the cycle goes round again. So it's like the weather. Like, they're attracted to different men at different times of their life, depending on what they want to use the man for. Because, make no mistake about it, women are using men. The world is built by men, but it's run by women. And women use men as tools to get from A to fucking B. And I'm not being bad or misogynist or anything. That's fine. That's their prerogative. They can do that. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. The world is your oyster. Go live your life. So I'd say I'm a good starter boyfriend because I can't get you pregnant. I've got no STDs. I've got a huge range of experience. I feel like this is a fucking good application for a dating app. Like, I'm a great, good starter boyfriend for a young girl. I've got my own shit together. I don't need anything from her. I'm fucking fun. I'm entertaining. Got a good conversation. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm a great guy for a young girl as a good starter boyfriend. And then they can go off and then settle down with the guy that they're going to have babies with. And then they can go find the guy that they're going to cheat on the guy that they're going to settle down with. And everything will be lovely. I'm doing my bit. They're doing their bit. Everyone's happy.
Men. And these days, dating apps and Instagram, it's even worse. And so if you want to date younger women, you need to keep this in mind and understand that the way to eliminate the competition is to make sure that she doesn't take you for granted. Don't be that safe bet. Don't be that sure thing. That's what a woman in...
Whereas I'd say, let her take me for granted, let her go fuck off, and I'll go get myself a younger, hotter bitch. It doesn't matter. There's 18-year-olds being born every day. It's not a problem.
her 30s or even older ones, and even take you for granted. The younger woman needs to see you as a challenge rather than a man to be second guessed. She needs to feel that she has to keep bettering herself.
Again, this is where I don't think about what they're thinking about. I don't care about what she's thinking about, and that's the right attitude to have. That solves all the other issues.
To keep proving herself, she has to keep bettering the relationship in order to keep you interested in her. Predictability.
The relationship, any relationship between a man and a woman, is only as good as what the woman will allow.
Predictability is the death of attraction, especially for younger people.
I agree with Kezia on this, because dopamine is the feeling of excitement, and that's the sexual attraction feeling, and that spikes when there's a maybe. So when somebody knows that they're getting something, if somebody's doing something and they're not getting what they want, then the dopamine doesn't spike. If they're doing something and they're getting what they want, it spikes. But if they get it half the time, a maybe, it goes stratospheric. It's a huge spike. So nothing spikes sexual excitement like the word maybe. The moment you guarantee something to a woman, then she no longer wants it. This is why I wouldn't get married. So if you guarantee something to a woman, for better or worse, let's say, then why would any woman want to get married if they want to stay sexually attracted to somebody? It doesn't make any sense. This is why I would never marry a woman, because I know that it's the death of attraction.
Her with surprises or gestures. It's more about playing it hot and cold with her, letting her think she's finally worked you out and then sending her a curveball. Now, this doesn't need to be anything extreme.
But she hasn't finally worked me out because I'm too fucking complicated. I haven't worked me out yet, and I've known me for nearly 40 fucking years. So all she's doing is she's matching her expectation against the reality. Then she'll always be intrigued by you. But if she thinks that she understands you and she's got you down, then she won't be intrigued by you, and then the sexual attraction will go down and she'll get sexually attracted to somebody else. But here's the thing, she's fucking wrong. She doesn't fucking know you.
Just maybe one day showing her a glimpse of your vulnerable side.
She doesn't even know her fucking self.
And then it's more about hot and cold with her, letting her think she's finally worked you out and then sending her a curveball. Now, this doesn't need to be anything.
Look, all you have to do is be honest with the girl. Because when you're honest with them, they won't fucking believe you anyway.
Extreme. Just maybe one day showing her a glimpse of your vulnerable.
Nothing beats her imagination. And she thinks that she's right about things that she's completely fucking wrong about. So just keep telling her the truth and let her mind fuck herself.
Side, and then closing back a few weeks. Or being physically absent for a week. Like, she can't get hold of you. She can't get hold of you on the phone so much because you got things to do. Run some jealousy plot.
I have got things to do. This is the thing that I'm saying, is that, like, if you've got a life anyway, you don't have to play these games. If you value something more than her, then everything's fine. If you put her pussy on a pedestal and worship it and commit to it fully and are monogamous, then she'll lose sexual attraction for you.
It's on her. Women do it to guys all the time. Tell her how hot she would she wore this, or how hot she would look if she did have makeup in a certain way, a different way. Again, encouraging her to better herself to keep your interest. Things like that just act as a reminder that
so much hard work. I can't be asked. Like, you don't need to put in this hard work. Women are the ones that should be working for the guy's approval. You don't need to put in the fucking work.
she shouldn't get too complacent if she wants. Again, nothing extreme. All these small adjustments and changes will keep her on her toes, and as a result, she will see you as more of a challenge, and she will be the one chasing for your commitment to her.
I don't care.
This is very much about refocusing. If she's not focused on you and the relationship, then distractions will be a lot more tempting. And when you've got her so focused on trying to impress you, to make it work with you, she will be far less distracted.
But she's in charge of negating her focus and desire. And she gets to decide what she finds attractive. She's not even deciding it. It's her body's way of doing it. She doesn't think, oh, you know what, I'm going to be attracted to this guy. Oh, now actually, I'm not going to be attracted to this guy. And fucking turns it off. Like, her body tells her. You're not in control of it in the same way she isn't in control of it.
And tempted by orbiters. Okay, thank you for watching this video. I hope it's helped. If you want to start getting real results with women, then check out my website, kezia-noble.com, where you'll find out more information about our programs. We have the 7-day mastery program. We also have the online training program. You'll also find my catalogue of online digital products there too. Okay, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up.
So you see how me and Kezia have completely different approaches, yet we still land on the same thing of what a guy needs to do. So I highly recommend Kezia's products because she knows what she's talking about, even though she has a different strategy to what I do. And also, if I remember correctly, Kezia doesn't do the online dating stuff and doesn't really... So I have a product for what to message a girl for online dating success. So have a look at her products, have a look at my one fucking product, and better yourself with women, whether that's trying to be something that they want to appease them, or whether it's to appease yourself. Whichever way you want to do it, learn to get into a better relationship, whether that's with the girl or with yourself. Hello, my name is Doug, and I've created a video tutorial called What to Message a Girl for Online Dating Success. The reason why I've created this product is to help those men out there who are dating online but are not getting the replies or getting the dates that they desire. My product will teach you what to message a girl, what not to message a girl, when to message a girl, how to respond when you're not sure what to write, what to do if she doesn't reply, how to get her phone number, and how to communicate to get online dating success. If you're getting matches and no success, this product is for you. It's what you need to do today to start getting success with your matches. I'll also be talking about other issues such as how to spot red flags, identify time wasters, to stay out the friend zone, how to deal with ghosting, simmering and icing. Not only will I be giving you exactly what you need, copy and paste, I'll also be explaining to you the reason why I'm writing what I'm writing so you can understand the psychology and know what behaviours to look out for and which ones to avoid. This product is packed with value. I've tried to cram as much as I can into a short amount of time as possible while being the most informative. If you're a man and you're confused and frustrated with what to text with online dating, this product is the solution for you to get more dates in less time. Click the link in the description box below to buy the product and change your dating life forever.